Good evening and welcome to Hungary Report, starting off public media and one's foreign language news hour. I'm Csenga Gabriela Ibolya with today's news from Hungary and the Carpathian Basin. Let's begin. After the Italian Minister of Interior, Matteo Salvini, another well-known figure of the anti-migration camp, the Austrian Deputy Chancellor Heinz Christian Strache, visited Budapest. Viktor Orbán talked about how the European political left is hopelessly pro-migration, so after the EP elections, instead of the left, the EPP should cooperate with patriotic parties such as the Austrian Freedom Party.
If it's possible for centre-right parties and the centre-right ruling party to cooperate with the right-wing Patriotic Party in Austria, then why couldn't this also work on a European level? This is our idea. We want to make such changes. We see that the European left is hopelessly, openly and unequivocally in favour of immigration. And if centre-right parties cooperate with the openly pro-immigration left-wing, sooner or later they'll have to make compromises. Therefore, instead of a European grand coalition, we also want to keep on the agenda the possibility of opening up to the right. What works in Vienna could also work in Brussels.
The Prime Minister also added that he considers the current main candidates for the President of the European Commission unfit. This is also true when it comes to Manfred Weber, the candidate of the European People's Party. Viktor Orbán said Manfred Weber seriously insulted Hungarian voters when he said that he does not want to be the Commission's president with Hungarian votes. This is why the Hungarian government will not support him.
The Hungarian government and the Hungarian Prime Minister cannot be in a situation where they support someone who announces that he has no need for the votes of the Hungarian people. So this is a radically new situation. I'm sad this has happened, but this was Mr. Weber's decision, and we, Hungarians, have to accept it. We are looking for the right candidate.
Students taking the Hungarian language finishing exams were rather surprised, as many said that they thought the test was much harder than in previous years. The task could hardly be called boring. For example, they needed to analyze a text about games, game theory, and argue for or against dubbed movies. Tomorrow, students will continue their finishing exams with mathematics.
Monday started early for teachers all over the country, as more than 70,000 students took their final exams in Hungarian grammar and literature on mid and higher level. The students also arrived early. Most of the final year students were, of course, very nervous. I think every person has a natural fear before exams. Well, I'm also nervous, this girl said. Some spent their last minutes with repeating the curriculum, while others were guessing what the assignments would be like. Analyzing short stories is my strong suit, so I really wanted to be part of the exam. But if there will be a fairy tale analysis instead, then a fairy tale analysis it is. I will also try to handle any other type of analysis, this student said. At mid-level, assignments related to reading comprehension and writing have to be completed, and an interpretive text also has to be written. There was a poem analysis and the analysis of a literary work. The latter one was a short story analysis. The comparative analysis, however, included two poems. One of them was from Attila József and the other from Miklós Radnóti, this boy said. Many said that the reading comprehension caused them the most trouble. Reading comprehension is hard for me because I read slowly and 90 minutes is not enough for it. Luckily, I could still complete it, but I had no time to check my spelling, this student said. After Hungarian grammar and literature, final exams will continue with mathematics. Written exams will last until the 24th of May. After this, oral exams will follow in June. This year, more than 110,000 students will give an account of their knowledge.
50% more homes were built in the first quarter of the year in Budapest compared to last year, which on a national level is an 8% growth. The Minister of Finance thinks that the Csalkó Family Home Creation Programme and the discounted VAT is great help, but another thing that also strengthens the housing market is that employment is on a high and families are more willing to take up loans.
2 months ago, only the walls were standing of this 32-apartment condominium in Budapest. Since then, experts have been working on it almost every day. Now internal works are taking place. It is planned to be handed over in August. Head of the company says some of the homes will be over 60 square meters, in contrast with previous plans, as this is one of the conditions of the €31,000 non-refundable family home creation program subsidy. The Minister of Finance said the government remains committed to supporting the construction and purchase of apartments. The goal is to give everyone a chance to have their own home, regardless where they live in the country. More jobs and higher wages make it possible for more and more families to build or buy a house. In addition, credit demand is also gaining momentum, so more and more people become acquainted with the idea of adding to their already existing opportunities with resources from banks and financial institutions, and embarking on building or buying homes with government subsidy, the minister said. Experts expect this drive to continue in the coming months. László Balogh said by the end of 2019, a record number of new apartments could be built across the country. Whether this trend continues in 2020 and even more homes will be built, or the number of already constructed apartments may decrease somewhat, depends on multiple factors. At the moment, labor shortage is the narrowest cross-section from the perspective of house construction, as there is a need for much more houses than the number that can be constructed, the expert explained. Last year, about 18,000 new apartments were built. Analysts now expect the number of homes built to rise well above 20,000, even up to 23,000–25,000.
Regardless of the horrible rainy weather, the Bike to Work campaign has begun. Nationwide, biking is being popularized. Many places awaited riders with the quick service stations and breakfast. The aim is to have Budapest become one of the most livable cities by 2023. And to achieve this, we need more and more people to put down their bikes and ride a bike instead.
If more people bike to work, then not only will they be healthier, but the city's environmental load will also be lower, and the entire city will be more livable.
A remembrance exhibition has opened from the works of György Zilahi in the castle of Tata. The work of the artist, who mainly worked in the 1950s and 60s, could rarely be seen by audiences before. His works mainly have folk art symbols such as old houses, ruined fenced gardens, cemeteries and truncated trees, which he brought to life with surrealist methods. And the Week of Communities has begun nationwide and will last the entire week. For example, in Kaposvár, a folk dance and instrument showcase, as well as an exhibition opening, kicked off the event series. Visitors are awaited from Tuesday to Friday in the Skansen of Senna, as well, where they can get to know the traditions of white mourning. And that's all for now, but don't forget, you can catch Hungary Reports every night after 11 p.m. news and online as always. Do stick around and watch our German, Russian and Chinese language news. Thank you for watching and have a lovely evening.